Hold on. Register your name. IG podcast.
That's what it says.
It says that. He's right. I read at him.
That says, meow, wop, baby.
Thanks, Spool. Why are you so stoned? All right. So,
should we intro this?
Yeah, Lawrence, you want to start us?
Sure. Welcome to the Inside Gaming Podcast, starring Adam Kovic, Bruce Green, and James Willows.
Not at all.
Right.
Do you get it? Justice and spades.
Oh, I get it because he's a shovel knight.
Mm-hmm. They like cards.
What?
Huh?
All right, Lawrence, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about several interesting topics that you should stay tuned for the entire podcast.
Hey, we're coming at you. We're coming at you live.
It's not the radio, Lawrence.
From some office in the middle of who cares.
This is
It's called Radiocast for a reason, Bruce.
no, it's called podcast.
It's called what?
Let's talk about things that are video games, shall we?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Hearthstone is a popular sport.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
It's not a sport.
talking
You
like-
can't call it a sport.
Lawrence has never talked before. It sounds so unnatural.
Hey guys, welcome back, and we're talking to you live, coming to you about Hearthstone news, 24/7 Hearthstone news.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret.
Hold
Usually
down,
when people
jump
talk,
on
they
down.
get more than
Jump
4
on
words
down.
out before they're laughed at and fucking interrupted.
Sorry, Lawrence, go ahead.
All right.
Tell us more about this
Hearthstone.
card playing sport.
So there was an event called Assembly Summer 2014. It was in Finland, and it was locked to male players only, at least for the Hearthstone portion of the tournament. This got out on the internet. Everybody got very, very angry, and it was presumably related to the fact that. Why are you guys laughing? I'm
He's
telling
like
you.
watching a retard.
We're laughing at Shovel Knight.
Okay, I never know what you're.
No, we're not laughing at Hearthstone. Go ahead.
All right, good, because Hearthstone is very serious, as you're about to understand.
That's true.
Go on.
So female players couldn't play, and it was because later there was a tournament run by IESF, which is the South Korean International Esport Federation.
ISEF. Got it.
Yeah, that was segregated into men and women competitions. So women couldn't enter this portion of the tournament lest there be one in the top 8 that couldn't play later. Everyone got mad. IESF had an emergency meeting, and now women can play again.
Do you think an emergency meeting for ISEF involves firemen's poles? Like, we gotta get down there. We gotta talk about
But it's
this.
all in Korean.
It's
Yeah,
remarkably
so they're
similar to the
Korean
1950s Batman show.
All right, so let me sum this up. So what happened was it was an all-male Hearthstone tournament, right?
Yes.
Who complained about this? Who decided? Who said, "Oh, this is the problem. We don't want this."
It was originally posted on Reddit. Somebody took a screen cap from the rules for the tournament that said only men were allowed to enter the Hearthstone tournament, and Reddit got mad about it, and then Twitter got mad about it, and IESF heard about it.
And so then they ended up opening up to women.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they did.
Well, Lawrence actually had some interesting information about this because why originally was it a male-only tournament?
Well, so esports has been a thing for a while. It's only just now gotten big in the West, but it's largely been segregated to male and female for the reasons that traditional sports are segregated into male and female.
Right.
Which is to say that for some reason, typically women just do not perform as well as men, which doesn't make sense, but it's just the way it is.
Wait, but is
Well,
that statistically
I mean-
true?
Yes.
Really?
Hearthstone?
Well, no, in games.
Not in
he's saying.
Hearthstone, but in every other game.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, Hearthstone is unique because it's the one competitive game that has no mechanical aspect to it. Like, you don't have to click fast. You don't have to be accurate.
It's just
Hold
thinking.
on. But are we saying that like women can't be as good as men at like Call of Duty?
That's what he's saying.
I'm not saying that. That's just what the data shows.
That's what the data shows.
There has not been... Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Whose
I don't know
data?
about
Korean?
that.
Korea data?
No, actually, can you Google that and find out? Because I mean, I know, he told me about it. I believe him. I just know. I know
No,
that-
I mean, I believe that that's maybe the reasoning, but that seems absurd.
It sounds ridiculous,
I understand that biologically men and women are different, but to think that they're so different that a girl can't move her thumbs as fast as a guy.
Well, again, that's not what Lawrence is saying. It's what the data says.
Okay,
So.
I'm just curious where that data.
so there have been like gender open tournaments, and this has been an issue in Brood War for a long StarCraft Brood War for a long time. There are a few competitive female players, but they never really win a title. And I mean, they have through their own merits gotten like the top 32, but never ever the top 8 or never changed.
That's unbelievable.
I would believe that has more to do with a societal thing.
Maybe they don't play as much.
They're not encouraged to play
Yeah.
as much or as well, thus they do not. They don't have this social structure that encourages them to excel at these things. I have a hard time. I understand, okay, like tennis or football.
That makes sense.
A girl
Yeah, physically.
may not be able to physically compete you know. But in terms of just being able to move your thumbs, that seems a little hard to swallow.
Sure. So that is one of the theories that's been thrown around, because this is a debate that's actually been going on for a long time. And to be honest, a lot of people are just coming into this discussion right now and getting
Right.
outraged without knowing the history of this. But yes, it doesn't make sense that women would be naturally less competitive in esports. But there is data showing that men are better at like spatial reasoning in a virtual environment.
I think what
We're
James
better at
is saying.
decision-making.
James is saying is that we haven't had the opportunity yet to watch girls play, like basically from birth, like guys are playing video games. And I think maybe in the next 5-10 years we will see that, because
So-
you know that's becoming a more prominent thing now.
There is a caveat to that as well, which is in South Korea, gaming is not stigmatized like it is here. I mean, it is, but it doesn't have the gender association as being male like
Well,
it
it
does in
seems like
America.
it kind of obviously does.
Not really.
They're not letting girls play Hearthstone.
No, okay, so the reason they're not doing that is it's kind of a legacy thing, and it doesn't make sense for Hearthstone, but there are typically female leagues for StarCraft and for like League of Legends, and they make those specifically so female players can get screen time and notoriety,
Oh, I get it.
sponsorship deals,
I get
and
it.
money.
I see.
Because if there wasn't, historically, females just haven't been able to compete as well.
Right.
So the pro female players did not have opportunities to show up on streams, to show up on television, to get any money.
They're trying to
from
give them a
prizes.
chance. It sounds like.
Yeah.
It's crappy, because you would think out of anything, esports would be the one gender-neutral competition, but for some reason, it just hasn't worked out that way.
Well, at this point, oh, go ahead.
I want to play Devil's South Korean edit, whatever. I'm not fucking paying attention. I was gonna be a Korean's devil advocate here, or whatever, and just say, this is a South Korean thing, right? What?
hand it over to you.
Oh yeah, play. This is a South Korean thing, right?
It's yes.
Okay, so we're from America, so at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter what we think, because it's from a culture that we don't understand.
True.
Oh, stabbing down's hard. Okay, yeah,
did
I
it
see.
Immediately.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You jump and press down.
Yeah, well,
Remember he was having
okay,
trouble
well,
with it?
look, to be fair, you slash with the X button or whatever, and then you would think you'd press down and hit the attack button, but no, they simplified
This
it.
is our first time
and they
playing
actually made it
Shovel
better.
Knight.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Mine too. Mine too.
All right, go ahead, Adam.
Anyway, so all the people getting upset about it, all these, what do you call them? Like,
Koreans.
No,
these-
there's Reddit. It was
these
the
like- these
Reddit
like-
warriors.
the-
The Reddit warriors.
the Reddit warriors, like the desktop crusaders.
Yeah.
They really don't have any like argument, because it's from a culture that they're not from, they don't understand. I'm not arguing for it or against it or anything like that. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I'm not from that country, and that maybe I'm not qualified to speak on behalf of that culture.
Sure.
I'm obviously for all gender equality, anything like, no one should be disqualified from anything because of what they were born with or how they were born. That's just silly. But at the same time, this is a country that does things differently, and who are we to say, like, you can't do that?
Russia hates gay people,
Okay.
Yeah, but
so we should step in and go. You guys can't do that.
Well, I think they have, but Reddit was able to influence this tiny little community, right? There's the IESF, and actually, to the IESF's credit, they changed it.
They did.
Oh,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah.
They did relatively quickly as well.
Yeah.
It was a span of a day or two.
And what I'm really interested to see now is what the result is. So does that mean that there'll be more women in the actual tournament? Will we get to or less women, or what will actually happen? Because again, to Lawrence's point with the data so far, we've only seen men become more pro gamers than women have done.
Well, now that Reddit has solved this problem, what other problems can we solve?
There's a lot of other
We
problems.
can cure cancer.
Yep.
We can get rid of AIDS.
So just go. Why don't we just cure it?
All right.
Right.
Why are we living with Reddit? I don't
And
understand.
then we all click upvote, and then
Yeah.
cure AIDS.
And
We
then
did.
And we did it.
Sweet. Good job.
good.
We helped a guy make potato salad.
Next story.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I wasn't done.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I have more to talk. I have more to talk about. With
All
this.
right, Bruce. Final thoughts.
The reason I say final thought. The reason I say I have more to talk about is because Lawrence and I once a week we talk about how there's a study that was it the ESA did, where they said that 50% or it's like 48% of gamers are female, whereas 52% are male. So it's split down the middle. And I think that study included mobile games, and that's sort of the catch here that James is saying, is that we don't know exactly, like women haven't played a lot of console and PC competitive games. They play a lot of mobile games, more so than they do console and competitive. I think, just in my opinion, I don't know that for sure, but that's kind of that's the feeling I get. I think in the next 10 years we're going to see an actual change in that. I think they'll probably be split down the middle 50-50. And then we won't have this worry of whether or not male or female in esports and things like that. It should all be pretty much equal. But for now, as video games are becoming more and more popular, I think that's the landscape that I see just right now. I could be wrong, but that's what
No,
I see.
I think you're right. And my wife and I had this discussion too. She just started playing Portal. This is like her first actual video game.
Yeah.
She just never really grew up playing games, and so she asked me. She's like, I want to play a game. Like, give me a game to play. And I mean, maybe I'm a jerk for giving her Portal first, but I figured it was like an easy puzzle game. The first person mechanics are kind of like they were.
It's a lot of fun though.
It was a lot of fun, and she's been picking it up like very quick. So it's like it's actually really good on her, but. That's the only perspective I can speak from. Where my wife and I are from the same generation. She just didn't grow up playing console games like you said. And then I mean, there's a good chance she represents a good portion of people, at least who grew up in the Southern California,
right?
Who don't play games. But no, I think you're right. In like 10 years, it's gonna. I hope it becomes a lot more gender neutral.
It should. James he's really qualified to speak on this because your wife is a dyed-in-the-wool gamer. Like she's in the industry.
Yeah.
She does all the stuff that we do. So I mean, I don't. What's your opinion?
Well, my big thing is
Knight?
people tend to, people tend to forget that gaming in general has been stigmatized for a really long time. Like 10 years ago, you didn't see a commercial for Call of Duty like on TV on a mainstream channel. It was generally like considered a nerdy thing to be a gamer.
Yeah.
So like to have women involved now, it's. Yes, they are definitely playing games, but we can't expect it to immediately be everyone is playing games the exact same way, with the exact same intensity.
Yep.
Fuck that guy.
I was gonna say, good on you for playing the game and having a cohesive thought.
Nice job.
It was a little all over the place, but I mean, when you talked about your people and the
My
plight
people,
of
I'm talking about Native American. We were talking about Native Americans not being able to play
That's
Magic the Gathering in Mexico or
That's
whatever.
right.
that's what World War II was
so
all
they
about.
should
Yes.
Let them play.
And
the
we-
Mexicans.
and the Mexicans did it.
And
And
the
now they're
Mexicans,
playing.
now we did it.
Now
Now
they're
we're-
playing the World of Warcraft.
Next story.
Solving all kinds of problems today. Okay, VR headlines.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So first up, Sony Morpheus. There was an interview. Andrew House said, "We made some commitments. We're putting significant investment into the product." But then later, when he's talking on market potential, he said, "I don't know about," when he's referencing what the potential of is the game. What the potential the Morpheus has in the market.
Okay.
Sorry.
So he just said Morpheus is going to do better than Oculus.
No, he didn't actually. He said
That's exactly what he said. I heard you.
yeah,
You
he
said
did
it.
actually.
I quote from
Morpheus will do better
from
than
gamerblog.uk.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't know," referring to its potential,
Uh-huh.
but I think that at the very least, it's going to be another really interesting advance for the PS4 ecosystem and another way to deliver brand new experiences. That's what we're all about. So he's invested significantly into a headset, developed it for 3 years, and he's not sure that anyone actually wants it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Morpheus on a console.
This kind of came up in the comments for our last Q&A, the VR Q&A, and a lot of people were, I guess, coming down at us for saying that Project Morpheus was
they
going
got upset.
to lose, quote unquote, to Oculus. I think the problem is it's the same problem we had with motion controls. Like, there was something that came out originally, and it was designed around this concept of using this tool, and then other stuff was like, that's a really good idea, we should do that too, and it was never, it didn't seem genuine, and it never really seemed as successful. So like Kinect and PlayStation Move were two things that came after the fact, but the Wii did motion controls really well.
I guess the problem is, like, so motion controls came out, if you're going to make this comparison, it came out and, like, you played Wii Bowling, and then they showed, like, a tech demo of what, like, Red Steel could do, and everyone went, oh my god, this is going to change the way you play games forever, and then it never delivered where it should have, whereas we've used Oculus Rift, and it delivers. It does actually work, and there's hundreds of thousands of, videos or views out there that prove that people are interested in consuming this sort of content. So we already know it's a home run. It's going to work. Facebook put $2 billion behind it. So for Sony to get into this arena is actually very smart. I think they actually know what they're doing. The problem is we know Oculus Rift works. We don't know if Morpheus works. Also, what the hell are they going to call it? Because it's not going to be called Morpheus.
Yeah.
For Thanks for losing all my stuff. Well,
First jump.
well, because like PS Vita before it came out was what something. It was called something else. Like
What was it called?
it was something stupid. Or like Kinect was called Natal.
Yeah.
You know, everything had like a weird, stupid name. Damn it, I can't remember what the Vita was supposed to be called. Look it up. Anyway,
Yeah.
regardless, I'm actually curious what we think the Morpheus would be called because I can't think of a good name for it other than
PlayStation Eye. Oh wait,
they already have something like that.
yeah.
Would it be the
PlayStation
PlayStation
Move,
Eyes?
with a Z.
With a C?
PlayStation C.
What?
PlayStation C, like SEE.
No.
PlayStation HED.
PlayStation Look.
HED. PlayStation Head.
PlayStation There.
It was codenamed Next Generation Portable or NGP.
NGP. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Dumb.
They should have stuck with that one.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Either way, or PSP2 or whatever the heck. I don't know. Regardless, so you're saying his problem is he's worried that people don't want
I don't think it's a
VR?
question of worry. If you just take these comments at surface level without context, it sounds like they have no idea if it's going to be a success in the market. Haven't even done that research. They just see all the money and are following a trend.
Well, I think, as Adam said, it's a smart thing to do. And you guys are sold on Oculus Rift, but I don't know that Oculus Rift is going to enhance every single game
No, it
that
won't.
it touches.
It won't.
No.
And so it's not going to push the industry the same way, say, graphics push the industry, or hardware like really pushes the industry. I think it'll be something for diehard people to want to use to get more out of gaming, and unfortunately, diehard people tend to lean towards PC gaming in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
They'll get everything, but they'll generally go PC because I'm sure some person will figure out that, we can download this one thing and then we can do whatever we want to with Morpheus. Hit that thing right there. Go down, hit that thing.
I don't know. I mean, I see it one of two ways. So like PC's obviously the better marketplace to go into if you're an indie developer or something like that. Like so,
Your checkpoint.
God damn it, I'm talking here.
Shovel Knight.
Wait, real quick. So you can destroy your
I
checkpoint
think
in order
for
to just
the-
get a giant
for the sake
diamond?
Of
Oh,
money,
for money.
you can destroy the checkpoint.
What do you
He
use?
should have kept the checkpoint.
What do you use the gold for? Do you upgrade your character or anything?
You use gold to respawn, and then he went through a town, but then he didn't buy anything.
Oh, gotcha. That's smart. Probably could have bought a weapon to kill this guy, like a better shovel.
Just leave him alone.
Yeah, he's
Leave him
got
alone.
better things
Leave
to
him
do.
alone.
I have to get over him. All right, there we go.
Anyway, regardless. Well, to actually James's point, I think there actually will be a game or two that comes out. Not now, probably in a couple of years. That is going to be like Oculus required, and like you're going to have to play the game with Oculus, and it's going to be that game where it's like, holy crap, yes, you have to play an Oculus in order to get the full experience. I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with that on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because you don't want to segregate an audience
Well, they're gonna try and-
when it's exclusive to a console.
I bet they'll try and do that like they did with Kinect. Remember? I mean, like that. Like they'll sell a PlayStation 4 with Kinect or with the head, PlayStation 4 head.
Yep.
And then like it'll sell for $500 or whatever. I mean, like I had told Adam earlier the Morpheus. I'm aware.
You got to get
I'm
to
trying
that.
to talk.
You got to get to that silhouette.
All right, well, I'm gonna try to do this while time. The Morpheus's retail.
Oh, boy.
Boy.
geez.
Morpheus's retail is like $1,500.
geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Now stand there.
Now, here's the thing. Actually,
we go.
Lawrence, maybe you can answer this. Where did it come out that they said the Morpheus is going to retail for $1,500?
I read that it was as a prototype. Again, it was just sort of like,
Gotcha,
This is
okay.
how much it cost, and it's not going to cost.
They're
as
not
much at
going
retail.
to sell for that.
No,
much. God,
absolutely
no.
not.
Yeah, it'll be. I can't imagine it could go over $300 for that thing.
It has to be cheap.
Yeah,
Conjure
and
fiery blasts.
So,
It's like
Yes.
when you eat burritos.
oh
Right.
man, I do that all the time. All right, so hold
Okay.
up, press X.
do it. Try your flame wand.
Oh, you
Yeah,
use
man.
your magic. You use your magic.
Oh,
Just slow down the magic, man.
All right.
But how
Now
do I
you
get
gotta
back?
out of here.
You gotta go back through the
across
little hole thing.
What?
Chandeliers.
What are you talking
You only
about?
go back.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that, guys.
Wait, hold on. MLG's calling.
Oh, they are.
They have a contract
Hello,
ready for you.
Fizz.
They want to pay you to stop playing.
Watch this. Broom. Oh,
What's your takeaway, Lawrence? I'm curious. What do you think?
I think it's going to be similar to like when the Nintendo Entertainment when the Nintendo Entertainment System first came out. They had a bunch of goofy ass peripherals that didn't really mean anything for gaming.
Yeah.
But you need some kind of prop to tell somebody this game is different than the one you played before, especially people that don't play games. So you've got people latching on to things like DDR or the Wii, because they see a thing, they see an action, and it says to them, this is new and approachable, as opposed to the same controller that's been developed over the past 30 years and has a million buttons and sticks. And I think Oculus Rift could be one of those things. If you have a simple...
Sorry, go ahead.
Keep going.
No, all you have to do is like go to a mall, set up an Oculus Rift station, and have a like a roller coaster simulator, do like a 30-second demo on somebody, and they'll walk right across the hallway to KB Toys and buy one.
Right. I know. I 100% agree with you, and that's the reason why, like, I always tell people with Oculus, seeing is believing, and when you actually try it out, you get kind of hooked. God damn it! Oh,
It's all right. No big deal.
You lost everything.
No, I didn't lose everything.
No, he's got 1,800 left. Just lost most.
But anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier, I think the fact that it's stuck to one machine, and I mean, granted, yeah, the Oculus Rift would be tied to one machine, but with a PC, you could. I'm not trying to be PC master race or anything like that, but like you can do more. There are more options. With the PlayStations, like you're just kind of stuck with that, and like who knows? Actually, who knows? They could upgrade it. And you could do like 3D or like virtual reality web browsing or something like that. I just feel like with the PC being open, people can just do crazy shit.
Yeah,
So more
Kinect works on the PC.
I mean, imagine Shovel Knight in Oculus support.
That's what I'm saying. I think we
Get the fuck out of there!
we have to remember we're also dealing with a society that loves games like Shovel Knight
Right.
because they remind them of times before other games came out. And so
What other games?
I don't think the Oculus market is the same as the Shovel Knight market.
I don't either, but I think to cover as broad a territory as possible, that's the best strategy,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
So
No.
that's why they're doing it, but that's why it might not succeed.
Regardless, I think Morpheus or whatever. I mean, PlayStation Head is going to do fine, and if anything, what I'm actually really excited about it's going to probably be what the next generation of consoles will be.
Break the top.
Just interesting displays tied to some box that you don't care about.
No, I've been saying this for years now. Like, it's all going to be about convergence, and there won't be an actual console. It's going to be like a pair of glasses you buy or something like that, or it's just going to be a chip that you put in your brain or something like that. Maybe, not that soon, but it's going towards that, where they're just
Slap diodes on your temples and jack into the
Well,
matrix.
the fact that you do PlayStation Now is going to be like built into certain Bravia TVs. That's just how it's going to be.
Well,
Jump.
on the subject of Oculus,
You knocked it back at him!
Oh, that's pretty cool.
they've been throwing around their Facebook money. There's a couple of headlines all tied to Oculus spending a lot of money.
Go on.
Oculus VR is holding Oculus Connect, their very own convention, September 19th and 20th in Hollywood. Before the thing's even out, they already have a convention. They also bought RackNet, a networking middleware software provider for gaming services. They bought the company and immediately made all of their code open source on GitHub.
What do they do? What does RackNet do?
That's a good question. They're middleware, so it's like they provide an API layer to make code development easier. Let's look at this here.
That's the boss.
Yeah.
You're wasting your magic.
Yeah, already
It's a
went.
C++
You're wasting your magic.
class
Went this way
library that provides
Go back.
UDP and reliable TCP transport, so
just
networking.
deflected because you deflected it.
It provides several core systems that rely on the transport layer, object replication, remote procedure call in C++ using Boost C++ libraries, VoIP, supporting FMOD, direct sound and port audio, NAT traversal, and patch.
You got flames too.
So audio processing and network
So
traffic.
audio processing.
That's part of it.
That's like, was that the, I guess, sort of the focus of their company, or no?
No, not at all. It's the entire reason that they did that is to save people licensing costs and development time for all the little things you never think about with the game. So, like, the fact that you hit a button and the console recognizes that button and passes that information onto the game.
Right.
That's code you never really think about, but
Right.
somebody has to write that, and somebody's got to get paid for that.
Yeah.
So, the fact that Oculus bought this company and just put all that code out there means that junior developers can take that code and use it in their game for free.
Yeah. Well, they've had a lot of success with integrating with like Unity and Unreal and all those other engines, because then, any developer that wanted to just, because those are really easy engines to develop in and also very powerful. So they've had a lot of success with those, and that makes sense that they would open source it right away.
It's interesting that you mentioned Unity because that is a technology partner of RackNet.
There you go.
Unity is already tied into, and what that means is, like, say you wanted to develop a game on Unity, all that work's already done for you.
Right.
So all the
Right.
networking, you just have to call the thing that they tell you to call and not worry about the rest of it.
Well, it's Oculus Rift is. I think who were we talking? We were talking to somebody the other day, Adam and I, and he said something like, well, in 3 years, are we all going to have our Oculus Rifts on our head and like we're never going to leave the house? And he was very serious about it, and I was like, I don't necessarily think that's what's going to happen in the next 3 years, maybe in the next 30. But even then, I feel like the human race, there's going to be something that changes our perspective before Oculus. Like, Oculus isn't the be-all, end-all of technology. There's going to be something that changes goes even further than what we have. We're just wearing something on our head, whether it's a chip in our brain or like something that helps control whatever. I don't think it's going to be the Oculus Rift.
The chip's going to go in your butt.
It's a chip in our butt. It's a suppository.
It's the only way.
It's a suppository chip butt. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It is not even close to perfected. Not even close. I think that it's really, really cool when I use it, but it's not something I've ever thought. I was like, oh, I want to buy this and use it for this game. That's never something that I've ever thought. Because there's nothing that I feel like would benefit. Because you still have to hold a controller, and you still sort of feel fucking weird when you got the thing on, and you kind of get motion sickness a little bit.
Also, it's up your butt.
And you stick those cords up your butt
Yeah.
when you play. Yeah, with Oculus. So I think you might have been doing it a little wrong though. Yeah,
I don't think so. I mean, the guy said, "Put it up your butt."
He did?
Yeah.
Which guy was
the
that?
The guy in the alley.
Which guy?
They have their alley office.
Was it
the
that?
office in the alley.
The Oculus Rift
Yeah.
alley office.
Yeah.
Was that it for the Oculus stuff?
Pretty much. The only other thing is they've suspended sales of the headset in China because people are buying them and reselling them at outrageous prices.
How much are they reselling them for?
I don't know. That's a good
Yeah.
question. Let me see here.
Because I saw that story today too. What does that mean?
It's kind of a small thing. It does kind of bug me that Oculus is doing all this stuff. They're having conferences, buying other companies, and they still just haven't put out a product yet.
Yep.
Oh, they're still small though. It's a
No,
small
they're not.
company.
No, they just got
See their
really.
booth at E3?
they just got
Well, no,
really-
no,
They're a small $2 billion.
I'm saying when I'm saying they're small, they're a new company. Sorry, they're a young company. So this is the first thing that they're putting out, and they were already given $2 billion. You've seen, was it Silicon Valley, or
Yeah.
is that what the show's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Silicon Valley. I love that show. Anyway, remember when the main character who has Asperger's had a panic attack?
Yeah.
That is probably what Lucky is doing right now because he's like 26.
Right.
And they're like, here's $2 billion. Now put out the best product ever. He's probably going to have a lot of gray hairs
Sure.
by the end of this year.
Well, are you at all concerned that I'm sure he's not the only person making decisions, but it sound like someone is around him saying like, okay, well, I know you really want to work on this and make sure this is good, but what if we had a convention?
Yeah.
Everyone's doing conventions. What better way to promote your product than that? It's like,
Yep.
I feel like shouldn't he just be surrounded by people who are saying let's make Oculus good, as opposed to let's try and make Oculus look
Big,
good?
right?
Yeah.
Big is what. Yeah. No, you're right. The $2 billion hired a lot of PR and marketing.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that's.
I'm
I
sure
think
that's what it
what's
did.
going to.
Lawrence, what do you think? I mean, do you think that Oculus Rift is going to take over our world in the next 2 years, or what do you think about that?
I think it'll be the flavor of a month or two. I think it'll be very similar to the original Wii in that you'll have a lot of people that aren't very tech savvy will buy one, will use it for a week or two, and then put it in the closet and forget they have it.
Yep.
Whereas gamers will bust it out every couple of months at a party, and that'll be that. That's kind of what I'm imagining at. But
So you don't
that's
think
not a bad thing.
You don't think it's taking over our future?
No.
Okay.
But I think that out of anything in gaming, displayed the manner in which you see and perceive the game is probably the thing that can change the most. It's either that or input device. But they've experimented with motion controls, and we figured out the tech's not really there yet. So what's there left to do?
Yep.
And if you can't capture people's imaginations with graphics, like James was saying, you have to use something else.
That's
You're a
my
gamer.
nickname. My nickname is Games. 'cause
Games.
I play
Games
so many
Willems.
games. And it sounds kind of like
That
James.
sounds pretty cool.
They
Games
call me
Willems.
Games. It might also be because people call me gay too.
Oh, that's right.
They call me gay, and then they say games.
Willems.
So,
That makes
but I
sense.
think it's cause of the gaming because I'm a real gamer,
I don't think so.
hardcore gamer.
You're wrong.
See your pecs from here.
Ew.
You can see it from anywhere, Lawrence. Google
So-
Maps.
Next
Yeah. Next one.
next topic.
What do
I'm
we
looking
got?
at Just punching in James's pecs into Google Maps.
Ew.
Let's see what
Gross.
comes up here. We are in. Where is this?
What are you talking about?
Zoom
It
out.
literally is Google Mapping, James.
It's probably. I'm gonna guess Austria.
Hungary. You were really close.
Oh,
Welcome to James's Pecs.
It pulled up the
don't know why it's
Lira
Austrian.
Fokus Kernjverhaus.
I'm going to kill him.
What is this?
next topic.
almost got him.
Lira.hu. Next
What?
topic.
You're better. Yeah, you're better when you're getting him in the corner there.
Gamers.
Nice. Knocked his crown off. Take his crown.
Sorry,
And
go
then
ahead.
Marius White.
Keep talking. Sorry, we're doing really well.
Crowdfunding headlines this week. The Dota 2 prize pool for the International 2014 passed $10 million.
$10 million for a free-to-play game.
The highest prize pool of any esports events ever.
How is that money gathered?
So part of it is put in by Valve, but most of it comes from sales of the Compendium, which is a digital kind of guidebook that goes along with the International. It's actually really cool, but also really confusing. So in this book, they have like information pages about the International, about the teams playing in it, and it's kind of like a sticker book as well. So when you play a match of Dota 2, you get a random set of stickers, you stick them in the book. If you finish a team's set of stickers, you get a pennant. If you equip your pennant on your character,
Sounds like
and
fucking
they win a
Steam
match,
trading cards. I want to kill
exactly.
myself.
It's hyper complicated, but people that play Dota 2 obviously love hyper complication.
Use the whistle. Use the warp whistle.
No. This is the city. I think you press up or
I
something.
think you can buy items.
But the Compendium costs some amount of money, and part of that sale price goes directly into the prize pool for the tournament. The rest goes to Valve.
So that many people have bought the Compendium?
Yes.
Wow. Gosh.
They do a great job of encouraging sales of it through the digital collection I was talking about. I mean, it's just new wave baseball cards, basically,
Right.
or sticker books.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
It's
is.
just all digital, and it's thoroughly interactive.
So what you're saying is free to play is dead.
Yes.
Okay.
There's
Free to
no
play-
money in it anymore.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
How big is Dota 2 versus League of Legends?
It's not as big as League of Legends.
I know that, but I mean, like, how close are they?
That's a good question.
Because I know League of Legends was like 27 million users. Or
Oh, more than that.
It's more than that now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill me. Ugh.
How many seconds of League of Legends have you played?
I played when it first came out. So I played League of Legends before it was cool, and I hated it. I played it for about a month and a half.
Alright.
I played it for I want to say like every other day.
Yeah.
I might have played a game every other day. So let's say I played 20 hours of League of Legends.
Okay,
Adam,
so
how many seconds of League of Legends have you played?
I got through. It exists online. If you go to my channel, you can watch me playing through the tutorial. That's it.
Oh.
Every minute
What
that
about
I
you?
played at a game exists. There's proof.
0 seconds
I
of
thought
League
for
of
sure
Legends.
you'd have played some.
0 seconds.
Wow.
you realize by admitting this, you're going to have about 30 people trying to convince you on Twitter that League of Legends is worth your time. And that you should play it.
Okay.
You do that
Here's
all the time.
Here's the
Someone
thing.
Sent me a Minecraft link.
Now, here's the thing. We understand that it is popular, or why it is fun, or it's cool. And like I've played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm,
off
which
her
I know is not
shoulders.
the
Jump
same
off her
thing.
shoulders.
Jump off her shoulders.
shoulders. Jump
oh,
up.
nice. What the fuck? Why are you just throwing it everywhere? Anyway, so I get it. I understand the addiction, and I know Heroes of the Storm is a much more accessible version of those games. The thing is, you have to devote a lot of time to that.
Right.
And I think ultimately here we try to play as much as we can, and I totally understand why a lot of people just play that game.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause
We-
it's free, and they
Right,
can,
and
they
we
can jump in.
we here don't have enough time really to devote our time to just one game because we don't do a League of Legends channel. We try to play as many games as we can, and also that keeps us from boring ourselves. We play things like Shovel Knight. Did I just go to the same level? Oh,
No, we
This
have
is new. Okay, cool.
So what are the numbers?
So I think the story you were referencing was in January of this year.
Yeah.
League of Legends has 27 million daily players, 67 million monthly players.
What about Dota?
Let's see.
I'm sorry, Dota 2.
Yeah.
Dota 2. 27
Good
million
entertainment.
Daily players. Daily.
I actually refer to Dota 2 as Guardians of Middle Earth.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little nickname that I came up with.
So in the last 30 days,
Yeah.
Dota 2 has averaged 500,000 players.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
So they're not even close.
No.
Wow.
League of Legends is indisputably the world's most popular game.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Is it the most popular game ever?
That's probably impossible to say.
I mean, are you comparing it to like soccer?
no, like a video game.
It's called football.
Sorry.
I think.
That's a good question.
I don't know. You don't have to answer it. What's happening?
Why can't you get up
Let's see
there?
how many people play Candy
Try and
Crush.
hit jump. Then hold
No,
jump.
it's not that. It's not. It isn't mechanics. It's like you have to do something else.
Dang it.
Jump off those things.
Okay, so
Can't.
here's the deal.
Oh, here we go.
Candy Crush at one point had 93 million
scoop
daily
it.
players, so Candy Crush was more popular than League of Legends. I don't know if it still is, but
Interesting.
Candy
All right.
Crush.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch over the bomb.
Candy Crush, most popular thing ever.
Over the bomb.
Nice.
It's doing the work for me. I know what's up.
What else we're talking about in terms of MOBAs?
Mighty Number 9.
Oh, that's right. More
Yep.
crowdfunding.
They opened up a new round of crowdfunding, even though the game's not done yet. They said, I quote, or this is Inafune said this, "We don't want the Mighty Number 9 project to end with a game alone. We want the game to be part of something greater. We deliver on a global scale. We feel this is something we can do with even more support from the fans.
So they just want more money.
Wait,
Yes.
he wants more money for Mighty Number 9?
Yes.
I thought they're going to make it and they're making an anime out of it,
Yeah,
though,
they're
right?
promising an animated series. The first additional funding goal is English VO, which you think would have been in the budget for the original game. They already raised.
Why do they need VO? It's a
Yeah.
It's a Mega Man game.
Yeah, I thought people wanted this as a throwback. I thought his whole goal was... I thought he wanted to make this game because Capcom was forcing him to make more westernized games that didn't resemble the old school games that he wanted to make.
You know what I really liked about Mega Man when I was growing up? The
What's
English
that?
dialogue.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mega Man 7 was great.
Wait, Lawrence, have you contributed to the Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter?
No.
I assume that you had.
Well, Lawrence contributes to a lot of things, so...
Well, no, that's true. But I mean, like, I assume that he would want the Mighty Number. I mean, you
I
love
do,
it. You love it.
but I have reasons. I don't typically do crowdfunding at all. I feel like you should be an adult and have a business plan and a budget, and none of those things do.
Yeah.
At best, they have a pie graph of just rough numbers about what they plan to spend on things.
Right.
But the approach is usually, remember that thing you like?
Yeah.
I'll make another one.
Like Reading Rainbow.
Exactly.
Just like Reading Rainbow did.
Well, I always like
Go
what
ahead.
Lawrence says about Reading Rainbow, which is that people will donate $3 million to Reading Rainbow, but they won't actually donate to PBS. Like, Reading Rainbow could have never gone away if people actually supported PBS.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally true.
So I always like that.
Shouldn't
mentality.
PBS just do crowdfunding now?
Right.
Yes.
Well, they do. They
I know,
were the
that's-
original.
that was
yeah.
the joke.
Every time
But they
do
should do it on the
one
internet and make a
service-
video. They need to make a heartfelt video.
But that's kind of the interesting thing about crowdfunding is that you have to do it correctly.
Yeah.
If,
Right.
if PBS had made their own Reading Rainbow thing, got LeVar Burton on board and done the whole deal, they would have made that money, no problem. You
Right.
know, like that's kind of the interesting part. That I know it's like a joke. Yes, PBS has always been crowdfunding, but they couldn't advance their business fast enough to catch up with what's actually happening.
I think the big takeaway is that the smartest Kickstarter is Kickstarter
Yeah, I know.
because they're getting paid by everything,
Right.
and most of it isn't even warranted.
What are we at for Star Citizen? Almost 50 million. I think.
48 million.
48 million.
Where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
People
Well-
really like stars.
Well, it makes sense in a way. I mean, all of these guys. I mean, I'm going to deal in the roughest stereotypes here. We're dealing with a bunch of guys who are probably tech savvy. They probably have like high-paying tech jobs.
Right.
If they like games, they're men of simple tastes. You know, it's not like they're paying for expensive 3-week vacations to Barcelona. They're sitting at home and like playing on their double video card system. Once you have a good computer and a slew of games, you don't need to spend money on much if that's what you like.
Yep.
So they've got money in the bank and nothing to spend it on. They want to be sold a fantasy that they haven't had.
It blows my mind because I don't know what the budget is at this point, but like that's close to what it costs to make Call of Duty, which they is on a 2-year cycle. Clearly, they've got like the development process streamlined. But holy crap!
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's really true. I didn't think about
That
that.
blows my mind.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Oh,
Nice
wow.
How are
job.
you going to get back? Oh.
Whoa! Look out for that.
Shoot magic.
It's funny that we're kind of like sitting here. I feel like we're poo-pooing crowdfunding, but
No,
we
go ahead.
we just crowdfunded it. We didn't crowdfund it, but our fans crowdfunded our trip to London.
Right.
And like Lawrence just said, there was some dude sitting at home that was like, "Hey, I really like these guys. They should go to London for their fans." He gave us what was like $4,800 or something like that. Ridiculous. I think it's more than that.
Yeah.
And it was absurd. It was absurd to me that they were like you said, somebody's sitting at home being like, "Hey, I want to do this," but there are people like that, and that's why Star Citizen has so much money, and that's
Yeah.
why like all these other projects. Again, if you do it correctly, the money's out there. It's ready for you. You just have to do it correctly.
Now, here's the thing I guess I was kind of getting at. Crowdfunding's been popular now for how many years? 4 years now?
Well,
Maybe?
Maybe a little longer, but yeah.
you could
probably.
argue that in some form it's
What
always,
was the first big, like,
every
Kickstarter?
religion kind of operates on crowdfunding.
Yeah, what was the
right?
first big?
No, I'm talking about, like, internet
Oh,
Kickstarter.
that
Like,
would be
what was the first, like, let's bring
Tim
back this
Schafer's
TV
thing.
show?
Yeah, it was Tim Schafer's thing.
Okay, so whenever Broken Promises, Edge...
That game actually came out though.
The
no,
first half
it did
did.
come out, yes. I guess, yeah, and I
Bear
actually...
in mind, the game's not done. He had to release the first half to fund the second half, even though he was supposed to have money for the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, that's kind of fun for people because now they can finally see what it feels like to work with Tim Schafer, like as a producer, and
Hold on. Tim Schafer's made some really good games.
I'm not denying that. I'm saying as a publisher, as a producer, people have been dealing with Tim Schafer for years in the sense that he goes, I will promise you the world but it's going to cost you a lot of money, and I'm not going to tell you that until 2 years into development, and it becomes Psychonauts 2. I'm sorry, Psychonauts 1. They're not going to make 2. Because
Killed Majesco.
because
some people think it's
he
a
told
great game.
Majesco, like, this game is going to be the shit, and according to
Was.
James, it was, but they blew all the money on development, and they didn't have anything left for a marketing budget.
Actually,
And
wait,
the-
Advent Rising is what killed Majesco. So.
they also had $1 million prize where it's like, look inside your console and you'll find it. That's a whole other story. Regardless, I'm just kind of curious where we're at with crowdfunding in general. Like, what's the consensus? Do we feel like it's have we got enough on our return for all the things that have been out there, and have there been enough empty promises that we're kind of like we're still kind of iffy about it? Because I feel like we're still kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, I feel the same about Kickstarter right now as I did when I first heard about it, where I'm like, I'm still not sure. I don't know. Like, do I really need a Veronica Mars movie?
Well,
Maybe.
my thing is, I'm generally okay with kickstarting something if I'm pre-buying it. If it's
Okay,
for
yeah.
a movie that I want to see, if I kick in
okay.
$15,
Yeah, sure.
it'll ensure that the movie not only gets made, but that I will get a digital copy of it
Yeah.
when the time comes.
Right.
And then sometimes other stuff you pay a little bit more, and then you get to see the movie being made. Like, I'm cool with that. So I did donate to Broken Age, and then I got the game when it came out. It's when you kickstart something and you don't get it. You don't get that thing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that on that same token, I know that there's been talk of people demanding like revenue sharing in Kickstarter.
No.
And for me, it's
Not
like,
gonna happen.
fuck you. You just got fooled into this thing. Like,
No, well, it's true.
you don't get revenue sharing in any other thing you buy in the
Right.
store.
No, not at all.
Well, and I mean, actually, you bring up a good point there. Do you think so? We have right now Kickstarter, Indiegogo. What's the other one? Patreon or
Oh yeah,
Patronizer or whatever, like it's called.
Patronizing.
So
And-
Patreon's kind of interesting too, because that also factors into traditional games coverage and how the written sector's not doing so well. A lot of those authors are turning to Patreon to get work.
What's the difference between Patreon and Indiegogo, though?
Patreon is a eternally renewing income source. So you basically pledge, like, I will give you $5 a month to do what you do.
Okay, so it's like a subscription service sort of thing.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Kickstarter to me feels like Reddit did, whereas Reddit 4 years ago, people were on Reddit like, "Hey, have you heard of this cool site, Reddit?" Like, "Oh, it's like really neat. It's got lots of neat links." And like, not many people knew about it. It was still kind of coming up. And now, 4 years into Reddit, or like at least into everybody knows what Reddit is, and it's like there's just bullshit everywhere. And I think it's the same with crowdfunding. Whereas, and Reading Rainbow showed me this, that Kickstarter is not only for little indie projects and video games and like little stuff that not everybody knows about. Now everybody knows about Kickstarter, and everybody's giving money to Kickstarter. So I think we're kind of in the, I think we're in the heyday of it. I actually think we're in right in dead center of the peak of the graph.
Well, I'm wondering if something else is going to come along that, kind of like what to James's point, where people are like, "I want to get in on this. How do I do this? And how do you get past this fucking part?
Walk over a little.
What, do you press down? Do you have to? No, you
just-
you just die. Gotcha.
Do you jump down?
That
No, well, normally those platforms go down
Yeah,
based
they
off.
move.
what does it mean? Oh, you get it.
Basically, the platforms go down based off weight, but I guess you have to die.
Anyway, just saying, like, do you think someone's eventually going to crowdfund something where they say,
Oh, you
if you donate over a certain amount,
You don't need
you actually become an investor, and they're almost basically just selling you stock in their company, and they start cutting you in on the profits? Do you think something like that will ever happen, or do you think people are too business savvy to go, oh God, no?
Right.
I'm not
Oh
that
yeah,
dumb.
they're definitely.
Why would they do that if they don't have to?
Right. Well, because I think people are starting to catch on
Yeah.
that they're like, wait a minute, I'm not getting anything, but I just gave that guy $3,000 and all I got was a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious if something's going to go that way, or it's just going to stay this sort of thing where someone makes a quirky video and they put it up and they beg you for $400,000 so they can make their dream MMO that just sounds like a piece of crap.
I mean, I think as long as putting up a video that appeals to sensibilities versus actually concrete
You have
money
to scoop
promises.
that up. I know that.
Like,
much.
words are cheap. They're easy.
Right.
And if you can get money just by saying a bunch of sweet words, people will do it every day as opposed to actual business realities.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what bugs me about Kickstarter. It just shows. And you know what the other thing is? Like, it kind of gets my nerves when people, like, why did people back this project and not that one? It's like, well, you're appealing to the whim of the masses. It doesn't operate on logic, so you can't really say that, like, one project deserved to get funded more than another because logic doesn't enter into it. It's not about merit, it's about emotion.
What's the next story?
There isn't one.
Really? That's it?
That's it. We're done.
Okay. Well,
Podcast over.
really, podcast over? I mean, actually, we have a little bit of time. I do want to say one quick thank you because we never really got into it about the Indiegogo, speaking of crowdfunding, of our fans flying us out, and one big fan in particular who got us out there. We never got to properly thank you. We haven't actually said much about the whole thing because we weren't sure it was going to go through. We thought we were being pranked. So I think the money's about to go through. I tell everyone this online that we're like 99% of the way there. Like, we're talking about booking flights now. I think the money's actually going to come through.
Yeah.
And that's why we haven't officially said anything. We just didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
But we are very excited to be coming out to the UK in September. We're going to be going to Eurogamer. We just got back from RTX, which was a lot of fun. It was insane meeting that many fans. We're trying to get a panel right now. We don't know how.
It's all in British. We don't understand.
I emailed EGX London and was like, how can I get a panel? And if anyone knows how we do that, please let me know if they don't get back to me in time. Because they are on British time, which is military time, maybe, anyway?
GMT.
It's
Something like that.
Greenwich Mean Time.
I want to get those bags.
At any
can't
point,
get the
we're
bags.
just
Get 'em.
They're stuck.
we're all very excited to be coming out to you guys, and I have no idea what we're doing there. Do you know?
No.
What? You don't know what we're doing?
We had an agenda?
That's your job.
I'll make up one.
Well, look,
I mean, I mean, obviously the fans are getting us out there, so I'm excited to meet a lot of
to
our
ignore all of them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
you-
have to go have bangers and mash.
No, I mean it's
Gay
actually.
sex, right?
Well, I mean, back to that point that you guys got us out there, so we're pretty much just hanging out with you guys. Like, I don't think we're really going to be checking out any games while we're there. Actually, I don't know what games are going to be there. I think everyone's going to go to Gamescom.
Yeah, we'll
That's
figure it out.
where that stuff's going to be. But regardless, it's just more time with you guys. So that's exciting, and I just wanted to put that out there. That a lot of people have been asking about it, and it's probably happening. It's most likely happening. It's 99.999% happening, and we're very excited to come out and see you guys. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Is there any things that I'm forgetting?
Not that I can think of.
Come on, Mr. Community Man.
Oh, is that what this part is?
I don't know. Just any last minute things you want to talk about.
Somebody made a really cool pixel version of us.
Oh,
Thank
Yeah.
Pixel us.
Super cute.
Super
Super
cute.
cute.
Robotnik. Oh shit!
Oh,
You're fighting death.
No.
Me. It's Luke Alexander Perry. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Unless you stole that from somebody else and tweeted it, in which
What do
case
I
you
do
shouldn't
here?
steal. But you probably
What are you
did.
Yeah.
supposed
No.
And I'll say one last thing. This is, I believe, our second podcast where we're doing this kind of different format. If you do like it, let us know if there's things you want changed. If it's distracting that we're playing Shovel Knight and
when it comes around.
You got it.
that we're just kind of watching it instead
He
of
hit you. That counted as a hit.
talking about
Oh boy.
stuff.
Oh boy.
Hold on, let me see if I can beat
We
this.
shouldn't have picked such a
No, I can't bounce off
mentally intensive game.
Anyway, let us know if it's something that you're into or not.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Oh, he fucked you.
all
I was like,
right.
I'm gonna kill you.
Podcast over.
You sure? I'm gonna.
We'll see you next time.
Dead. Hashtag IGE3 post E3 Q&A.
Guys, if you have any questions, really, put them in the Twitch chat.
Your first question comes from FamGuy52. How were the
GTA?
bathrooms, Bruce?
The bathrooms were terrible. I think I ended up taking 3 shits a day, which is out of the ordinary for me. Usually it's 1 shit.
Yeah.
But
I remember there was a point where you were like, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then when I get back, we'll head over to the 2K booth.
yeah,
And then like 45 minutes
that was
passed.
about right. 45 minutes. It came out a long time. Also, one of the guys that was working on our booth, Michael, went and took a shit for a half an hour, no joke. Then he came back. Remember, he laid down on the ground.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
he had to
he-
air
like
out
he
his
had-
asshole.